lovely to see so many of your faces this morning in lots of various different places. I'm in the office for the last time before we have our lockdown tomorrow, so apologies, it's a bit bright and sunny, so you might not be able to see me that well, but we can't complain in this gorgeous morning, although the first one of sorting the car out this morning. But it's lovely to see so many of you this morning. Welcome to the first in our series of resilience events that we're running in partnership with Warwickshire County Council. It feels all quite timely, to be honest, to be leading today on our digital resilience event as we all prepare to start fully working from home again over the next 4 weeks. So we're going to be looking at digital presence, processes, cybersecurity, and I think it's going to be more important than ever as we lead into this, next period, this second lockdown. So this morning we're joined by Warwickshire County Council and Nimbus to give us some real practical advice and to really help us think about considering our business and how we can be most resilient in this difficult, challenging time. I'm going to hand over in a minute to our speakers, but I just wanted to run through some housekeeping with you this morning. And I'm sure you're all really used to this actually. Now this has become our new norm and this is how we're meeting, but if we could all put ourselves on mute when our speakers are presenting, because then that helps with any feedback and background noise. We are recording this session, so we'll be sending it out to our fellow members and stakeholders, really, so we can try and ensure that as many people as possible are able to gather the information and get help with their digital resilience. So we will be recording today's session. And then finally, just with the final bit of housekeeping, if you've got any questions throughout the presentations, just use the chat facility as we go through, and then we can go through the questions at the end. But also there will be that chance at the end to properly speak and put your hand up for Q&A at the end as well. So either think of those questions as you're running through, or there is that time at the end for Q&A as well. So first of all, I want to hand over to Bogdan, our business crime advisor at Warwickshire County Council. So Bogdan, can I hand over to you for the first presentation?
Yeah, that's fine. Can everyone see this? Right, can anyone see this?
Yeah, perfect.
Brilliant. So hello everyone, morning. My name is Bogdan, I'm the business crime advisor for Warwickshire, employed by Warwickshire County Council Community Safety Team and funded through the Police and Crime Commissioner office to kind of carry out crime prevention projects around protecting business. This includes cybercrime as well. If I'm just going to go quickly through some of the PCC's commitment to provide help and support to businesses, which is set out clearly in the Police and Crime Plan. And with the current priorities as outlined, putting the victims and survivors first, protecting people from harm, ensuring efficient and effective policing, and preventing and reducing crime. We also got 1,200 police officers on streets, and extra 200 police officers to fulfill the need for an increased visibility, following a number of business consultations with the Police and Crime Commissioner. And we also got involvement in community safety and business crime partnerships, and work with national and local partners to kind of coordinate crime prevention projects across Warwickshire and Coventry. So we do have one business crime advisor in our team, which is myself, 3 cybercrime advisors, PCC funded to actively participate and carry out crime prevention projects county-wide. We've got them embedded in Warwickshire County Council, which generates partnership working opportunity, coordinate resources in relation to the traditional business crime, cybercrime, and other crime prevention projects. Work with businesses, business groups, police, and local councils, and also act as a point of contact for any further support. So, since 2017, the most frequently reported types of cyber on the rise are phishing, malware, and processing fraudulent payments online, including spare phishing. From what we've seen on the screen now, 49% of smaller businesses in England and Wales, which is about 2.5 million firms, have experienced at least one business crime in the previous 2 years. The average cost per over 2 years of the business was around 7,000 pounds, and the average cost per crime will be around £1,000 as well. So the average annual direct cost of cybercrime in England and Wales is roughly around £3.7 billion, which also, again, looking at the importance of cybersecurity nowadays. So we've developed your say Community Safety Business Crime Survey that was launched on the 21st of February, open to all businesses and residents as well. The aim of the survey was to help inform the Safer Warwickshire Partnership Board about what matters to local residents and drive the focus of cyber and business crime advisors. So from what we've seen on the screen, from 158 responses, 61% show that actually they're slightly concerned about business crime, which is a good news. However, looking at the top of the screen, we've got 40% that is from business responders, and they are concerned about fraud, scams, and cybercrime as well. So if we move in to the current cyber threat, we've got phishing, with spare phishing, malware, and ransomware as well, cold calls, and invoice fraud, which are the most prevalent throughout this period as well. Phishing scams are attempts by scammers to trick, in particular, your staff, often via email, and we're going to have some examples here as well, into giving our business users such as bank account numbers, password, credit cards. Malware refers to malicious software, including viruses as well. So looking at basic examples, we've got this email. Your assistance is required in support of a sensitive transaction which takes priority over all other tasks. I shall arrange for XYZ to make contact to discuss the final details to avoid the risk of leakage to the press or on unwarranted interest from our regulator. Under no circumstances must be this discussed outside of this email. Another example could be related to COVID-19 nowadays. Dear Sir, Madam, go through the attached document on safety measures regarding the spreading of coronavirus. This little measure can save you. This specific email comes from the World Health Organization. It clearly is not, and we can find out some indicators, the sense of urgency, and all of that. And also, this example relates to the ransomware attack. So your important files were encrypted on this computer, photos, video, documents. You can verify this by clicking on this file and try to open them. Encryption was produced using a unique public key. The single copy of the private key, which allows you to decrypt the files, is located on a secret server. The server will destroy in 72 hours if you don't pay. What we advise is to not pay the ransom, because otherwise you will be subject to second incident and re-victimization. So if we go and talk about cyber resilience a bit, that recovery and business continuity obviously plays an important role for your business. Help to avoid business services. So basically, business continuity planning is the process of creating systems of prevention and recovery within your business. So whether you are a small, medium, or large business, the business continuity plan is equally important as well in case of an emergency. So in addition to prevention, our aim here is to kind of ensure we enable ongoing operations before enduring a potential cyber attack on your company. So basically, the business continuity should vary from business to business and tailored based on business activity, services, and structure. So it may even start from 1 page to 100 pages long document. This is particularly tailored to your business. It may include information about recovery processes, risk assessment, structure charts, alternative equipment or location in the event of a cyber attack, and also point out critical services and look at cyber insurance element if applicable. We recommend to always test and exercise your business continuity plan and create a record of periodic testing as well. Although it might sound easy, kind of many businesses that spend time and money creating a business emergency plan make the common mistake of not testing the plan periodically, which then leads to uncertainties within your business. It is also particularly important to communicate your plan with your staff. So make it clear what communication channels are to be used for in and out of hours, such as work phones, WhatsApp groups, and any other kind of communication software. Ensure contact details, phone numbers, emails have been tested and up to date as well. Consider looking at alternative contact methods. Also, the National Cybersecurity Center launched the latest measure to support small businesses to kind of test their cyber resilience, which I'm gonna, probably it's the next slide now. Which might complement the work you may consider doing after today's sessions. For example, the home and remote working exercise will be part of the exercise in a box toolkit, which we're gonna discuss this later on today. If we go to working from home, has become the norm nowadays. So it becomes particularly important to make sure you get some agreement with your staff around working from home habits around security and protecting your business. So we recommend employees to use a work computer device and software, connect to a work network via a virtual private network, keep their computer locked when not in use, avoid mixing work and home computing. Don't forget the security base on the end of the session, and keep in touch with your staff. So there you go. We've got the National Cybersecurity Center, which produced Exercise in a Box, an easy to use tool which helps businesses such as yourselves to find out how resilient they are to a cyber attack, and also test and practice their response to cyber attack in a safe environment based on various injects simulating a breach within your business. This is free for any business to use. You don't have to be an expert to use it. It's quite straightforward. To use this exercise in a box tool, you can register on the ncsc.gov.uk. Right. As part of the team, we've got a dedicated partnership to tackling cybercrime as well, made up representatives from the police, from the regional organized crime unit, education and health, local charities, local business representative, and also trading standards and district and boroughs councils. We've got a number of training packages covering crime prevention and current threats, cybercrime and security awareness, GDPR, modern slavery and warning indicators, prevent and business continuity. And also all of this is available on the Business Watch website. Our cybercrime advisors also deliver general cyber training focusing on new and emerging trends and also related to COVID-19 scams. Prevent online grooming, online safety for young people, and all of these can be available on the below websites. So we've got the Workshop Business Watch website, which has a lot of crime prevention advice, including cybersecurity. And it's used to disseminate appropriate, relevant, and timely information to assist with crime prevention, relevant events and training regarding business and cybercrime as well. We have a threat alert system used to transmit messages regarding crimes in the area. And we've got a crime reporting guidance as well. So businesses can now report by Workshop Business Crime, which is directly linked to Action Fraud and Workshop Police Reporting System. So looking at reporting, it is vitally important to report incidents when they occur. Reporting online is quick and easy, and it helps form a bigger picture of what the issues really are. So if we look at the reporting fraud and cybercrime to action fraud, either online or by calling the number displayed, you can flag any phishing email received at the National Cybersecurity Centre. They've put together an email, report@phishing.gov.uk, apologies, which is now up and running. Businesses can also report any scam or fraud to Warwickshire trading standards as well, and also call police on 111 and 999 for emergency. So now I want you to think about your business. What are your risk factors? What are you currently doing to prevent it? What do you think you can do more to improve your security? And who can you work with to achieve this? Because we focus on partnership working as it is the best crime prevention kind of technique. So I'm just going to leave you now with a couple of hygiene tips.
Hola.
Again, sorry?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So I'm just going to
yeah.
hygiene tips. Self-isolate your data, monitor and secure your accounts and passwords, practice social distancing from unknown senders, make use of protective PPE such as antivirus, avoid contact with suspicious email and attachments, clean your computer and mobile devices. Where applicable, we strongly recommend turning on two-factor authentication on all your accounts online as well. And also report any kind of incident you're occurring within your business so that it won't happen to you. Thank you very much for this. You've got my details. If there is anything I can support you with from our perspective, just drop me an email. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bogdan. That was really helpful. I know I have got a question, but I won't be sneaky and naughty and put it in now. I'll wait till the end because I'm keen to hand over to our next speaker. But as I say, if anybody's got any questions for Bogdan, if we save them till after our next speaker, that would be really great. So I'm going to now hand over to Jack Hazell, Director of Operations at Nimbus. Thanks, Jack.
Thank you. There we go, should be working. Can everybody see that? Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you all. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is digital resilience and digital strategy. So just a bit about Nimbus. We're an IT expert company. We do a lot of IT services. We pretty much do anything and everything in IT. There are certain things we don't do, but we do quite a lot of stuff. We build applications, we develop infrastructure, we do cloud migrations, we do a lot of stuff. And one of the things we do also is a lot of helping organizations and enterprises with their digital strategy. So I wanted to start off by sort of defining what a digital strategy was, because some of you might be sitting there thinking, I don't know what that is, or do I even have one? And I think probably the answer is yes, most of you will have one if you know it or not. Basically, a digital strategy is effectively how you're going to use technology to integrate with your business in any shape or form, through your processes, through your sales, through just through modernization, really. But it's that use of technology within your business. Now, some of you will have very detailed strategies of roadmaps of 2 or 3 years of how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to be. Others might be on the fly, and those things are happening, which is it's quite common, particularly within SMEs. You're responding to challenges and you're looking for technical solutions. So what I wanted to kind of give you today is just 5 tips really about developing your digital strategy and things that might help you, but also some things that are going to help you build that resilience going forward. Because obviously with lockdown 2.0 coming into force, many of you will be experiencing different ways of working, or your businesses are going to be affected, and you're not going to be able to do the things you wouldn't necessarily would have done before, or do them in the same way. And technology can help with that. So the first step on building your digital strategy is defining your process and operation. Now, this one sounds very simple and obvious, but basically it's answering the question, what do you do, how do you do it, and what makes it unique, what's unique about the way that you do it or the way that you deliver it. That's the most crucial thing to setting up a digital strategy, because ultimately technology can solve problems, but it can only solve the problems that you ask it. And if you ask it the wrong questions, you'll get the wrong answers and you'll end up with the wrong technology, simply put. So you need to know what you want to ask it. You need to know, what are my problems? What do we do? What are we trying to do? What are we trying to achieve? And then looking at how you can actually then say, okay, that's what I do and that's what I'm trying to achieve. What technology can I use to fix those problems? What processes do I have in my business that technology might be able to help out? Again, without defining those processes, you might go off and find something that isn't right for you. And that is often the case when we speak to companies, is they've got the wrong technology. They bought something and they've gone out and bought something. A flashy salesman's come in and kind of, pulled the wool over their eyes a little bit and told them they need this and this. And because they didn't really understand what they were looking for, they bought it and they signed up for it. And actually it's not right. And that's kind of a really key situation. And also what you can then start to do, which brings me on to my next point, is choose your technologies. Now there are two clear technology choices often, that are out the box and a bespoke technology. So something you can get built for yourself, or something that you just, for example, Zoom is out of the box. We're just using it now. We're using an account. Microsoft, I'm sure we're all using the various Microsoft facilities. But then we get onto bespoke things, applications, and even those out of the box products can be developed, in a more bespoke fashion. This again usually it's a question of cost, which one you want to cost which. But I think particularly in what I'm seeing now, which I think is really interesting and really relevant for a lot of businesses, I think particularly SMEs, is the use of out-of-the-box technologies for solutions that they weren't intended for. So with lockdown happening, one of the key things that we're seeing is obviously, things are changing, new information is changing. Some businesses, we're all going into lockdown tomorrow, I think it is, for the next month. And, some of you aren't going to be able to deliver the same amount of service. I know that I've got bookings with companies for a variety of different things over the next month, and I don't know what's going to happen over the next month. Some of them are going to happen, some of them aren't, some of them I can do, some of them I can't do. So one example that I had, it was a conversation I was having with an individual a few months ago, was this individual was a gardener, and what they had done was they were using a solution that was designed for restaurant booking. So if you ever booked a restaurant before, you might have gone onto their online portal and you literally fill in the form, you fill in the information, and then they text you updates in terms of when your booking is, those kind of reminder things. That's what the solution was designed for. That's what the solution was built for. This individual was using it for his business. He was just using it. He was using it to basically keep his customers updated with his bookings, with his availability. And there was a recent study done that showed it's over 70% of people are more likely to come back to you if you communicate with them, if you keep them updated, if you keep them going on. Again, like I say, going back to my own examples, I know there are some businesses that have told me exactly what's happening next week and next month, and there are others that haven't. And I'm more inclined to return my customers to those that have. So again, sometimes it's about thinking outside the box for those technology choices, and that's something that's where this sort of platform becomes really useful. Use your network, speak to your colleagues in industries that you might not think are related to you in any way, but what are they using? What are they doing? What does it actually do? What's the bare bones of the structure? Is it just a booking form that allows you to manage a booking and inform people of what's going on it? That could be applied to a lot of different things, not just necessarily what it was intended for. So that was kind of the choosing technology side of it. Then it's the next stage. Now, a lot of people will be on different steps of this journey. A lot of people will be, some people have already done these various things. Some people will be now in this step. Some people will be later. Some people might have had a full, mature digital strategy that they're deploying, which is, brilliant. Congratulations to those individuals. But this is one of the big ones that we've really seen kind of ramp up over the last 6 months since lockdown initially kicked off, and ways of working have changed. And that is the use of technology and agile ways of working. So how many of you in your offices, when you used to go into offices, or have anecdotally heard when you used to go into offices, you would often have a big calendar on the wall with all the key dates for the team on them, or key bits of information, maybe a big notice board where people would pin things up or write things on of tasks and what's going to be done and who's going to do what. Those kinds of ways of managing things. Post-its on walls were quite common. Post-its on desks even. That is really replicable in digital platforms. The example I've used here is Microsoft Teams, because we use Microsoft Teams. It's something that we've used. Our clients, most of them exclusively use Microsoft Teams. It's great for this. It's not only a platform to do this sort of thing, video chats and those kinds of things, but it's also about looking at those agile ways of working, those ideas of refocusing it to be all about delivery. So what Teams has got is it's got a fantastic task function, which you kind of see on the screen here, where you can assign tasks to individuals. You can kind of, you can give give those to people and update them, and people can see what the progress is, and people can, you know, chip in with what's going on. People can ask for support, ask for help, bring other people onto the task, and you can see the delivery and what's dependent on what, and those kinds of things. Like I said, there are others out there that do this, but you know, Teams is a really great solution. So if you've got Teams and you're not utilizing this feature, do give it a look. It's called the Planner feature. So if you've got it and you aren't utilizing this feature, we use it, you know, unanimously across our organization for pretty much all of our ways of working. It ties very nicely into that. And then we've got the other side of it, because a big part of kind of like agile working is a lot of face-to-face, a lot of workshopping, a lot of ideas. Now again, this is just within this is the functionality within Teams. There's a whiteboard functionality within Teams that you can use. Now again, it's not perfect because you're drawing on a screen, which I know some people don't find very comfortable or very easy, but it kind of is something where everybody can pick up the pen, anyone can draw, anyone can write, anyone can, you know, you can do all those kinds of things, everyone can see it. Again, something that we use on a regular basis. The solutions are out there to replicate as close to an in the office experience as possible. So I think it's kind of time really for a lot of individuals to start embracing that, because this could be the ways of working for the next 6 to 12 months. And you know, whatever business you run, you can use some of these features and functionalities. Whatever business you run, you've got a backlog of tasks that you need to complete in a given week. You know, you've got a team of people you need to assign those tasks to. This is a great way of managing and tracking that and keeping that updated and keeping that fresh. The next one, I think obviously Bogdan did a great job of talking about this, so I won't dig into this too deeply, but there is something I do want to add on this one. So that is security. I think it's probably one of the biggest things, and something that we've seen, again, something that we've seen over the last 7 or 8 months, is the amount of attacks that we've seen has increased, because, you know, people are logging in on external environments. People are, you know, perhaps being a bit more, you know, lackadaisical at home and kind of lying back and kind of being a bit more relaxed as they would be in the workplace. When they see a certain email, they might get something and think, oh, is that suspicious? And they click on it, and, you know, whereas in the office you might think, oh, actually, no, I know who to ask or to speak to. So security is a really key issue. The damage that you could cause by being insecure, obviously, financially, you know, commercially, brand wise, everything could be affected by this, and obviously the potential loss of data and information of your customers as well, which, you know, again, could have implications. So one thing that we'd recommend, not to dwell on this too deeply, is something called Cyber Essentials. So if some of you may or may not have heard of Cyber Essentials, we are a so Cyber Essentials is effectively, it's a government sponsored, almost like a certification. There are various companies that do this. It costs kind of anywhere between sort of £300 to £600, so it's not inexpensive, but it's really valuable. What it basically is, it's almost like so it's a self-certification. It's a checklist of various things of making your business cyber secure. And once you've completed those things, filled out the checklist, you get the certification, so you become Cyber Essentials certified. There is another layer on top of that, which is Cyber Essentials Plus, which is the next layer up, which basically means not only have you self-certified, that an independent company will come and audit that and make sure that you're not just, you know, lying through your teeth. But one of the things that we realized, even as a technology company, was that this is a great checklist of things that you need to do to make your business cyber secure. This is the great checklist of things of asking yourself questions. If you're sitting there thinking, how do I make my business more cyber secure? I don't really know. I'm not a cyber expert. This is a great place to start, looking at Cyber Essentials and looking at that checklist and saying, okay, these are the questions I need to answer. These are the things I need to do. That one of the, you know, I would implore all of you to look into it. There's a variety of different companies that do it, and I would implore you all to look into it. And it's something that I say we've gone through the process, both Cyber Essentials and Cyber Essentials Plus. We highly recommend it, and it's something that, you know, as I say, it's UK Gov recognised. Most government bodies require us to have it to engage with them, to be honest. So it's almost essential for us. But it's, like I say, it would be very useful for our businesses. So, final point I wanted to kind of dwell on would be a miss as a cloud expertise company to not kind of talk about the cloud and what that could do for you and what that can't do for you. And I think we have seen again over the last sort of nine months coming into this period and moving now into the next sort of 9, is that there is this is the direction of travel for businesses are looking at the cloud in all its shapes and forms, and what that looks like across their whole organization, and how they can move as much of their stuff into the cloud as possible. Simply put, for connectivity purposes, for ease of access purposes, for increasing of remote working purposes, for reduction in your, you know, need for estate and physical equipment, for the power and the ability that you can access suddenly, and the information or data, you know, that you can start to analyze and delve into. if you haven't considered the cloud, or if you haven't got on the cloud, or if you don't know where you are with the cloud, very happy to have a conversation offline about this with yourselves. And we do a lot of kind of workshops and things that are completely non-obligation, no charge, that we can just kind of talk to you about where you are and where you might want to be. It's something that, again, we would really recommend. It's the direction of travel, and the sooner you get on the train now, the better it will be for yourself, in 12 months time. So that was pretty much a whistle-stop tour of our digital resilience tips. So welcome any questions now.
Thank you so much, Jack and Bogdan. Thank you.